Imagine dedicating just 1 hour a day to focused learning. That's 5 hours a week that transforms not only how you think, but how you live. This concept isn't just theory, it's been the secret behind some of the world's most successful individuals. It's called the 5-hour rule. What if I told you that the difference between you and people like Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, and Warren Buffett isn't just hard work, but a commitment to deliberate learning? The truth is, success isn't an accident. It's cultivated through intentional habits, and at the heart of these habits lies the 5-hour rule, a simple, effective framework for lifelong growth. This audiobook is designed to guide you through the 3 pillars of the 5-hour rule: reading, reflection, and experiment presentation. It will show you how they can elevate your personal and professional life. You'll learn how to structure your week, prioritize learning, and continuously improve yourself. This isn't about adding more tasks to your day. It's about setting aside time for the most important investment you can make, yourself. Whether you're a student, an entrepreneur, or someone seeking personal growth, the 5-hour rule will help you unlock your potential. Over the next chapters, you'll discover not only why this rule is powerful, but also how you can incorporate it into your life starting today. Join me, and let's embark on this journey of continuous learning. Let's make every hour count. Chapter 1. The Origins of the 5-hour Rule. The 5-hour rule is a concept that might seem revolutionary today, but its origins go back to one of the founding fathers of the United States, Benjamin Franklin. Franklin was known for his rigorous commitment to self-improvement. He understood that continuous learning was key to mastering new skills and achieving personal success. Benjamin Franklin was a man who thrived on routine. He structured his day in a way that allowed him to balance work, social engagement, and, most importantly, learning. Every day, Franklin dedicated at least 1 hour to deliberate learning. His method was simple but effective: reading, reflecting on his experiences, and experimenting with new ideas. This was the foundation of what we now refer to as the 5-hour rule. In his famous autobiography, Franklin outlined his daily schedule, which included time for prosecute the present study. In other words, spending time learning something new. Whether it was studying languages, reading literature, or experimenting with scientific ideas, Franklin made learning a daily habit. This commitment to constant improvement laid the groundwork for his success as an inventor, diplomat, and thinker. In addition to his personal study, Franklin understood the power of learning from others. He formed a group called the Junto, which was essentially a mastermind group. Members would discuss ideas, debate current events, and share knowledge. The group met regularly, and the discussions fostered intellectual growth for all its members. The Junto was not just about reading or intellectual debates. Franklin and his peers took practical steps to implement what they learned in real-life situations. This combination of reading, reflection, and experimentation is what made Franklin's approach so effective. These are the 3 pillars of the 5-hour rule. What makes the 5-hour rule so universal is its simplicity. Anyone can follow it, regardless of their occupation or background. It doesn't require you to drastically change your life or overhaul your schedule. Instead, it calls for just 5 hours a week of deliberate learning. The power of the 5-hour rule lies in its cumulative effect over time. Those small daily or weekly investments in learning build up, much like compound interest. The more time you dedicate to deliberate practice, the greater the results. This is why many of the most successful people in history, from Franklin to modern entrepreneurs, have adopted this practice. The 5-hour rule is a timeless concept, rooted in the daily routines of some of the world's most successful figures. Franklin's ability to balance work and learning serves as an inspiration for anyone looking to achieve success. By incorporating reading, reflection, and experimentation into our lives, we too can harness the power of the 5-hour rule to unlock our full potential. Chapter 2. Why time management is key. Time is the most valuable resource we have, and how we manage it plays a crucial role in our success. Successful people, from CEOs to entrepreneurs, know that time is finite, and they must make deliberate choices about how to use it. The 5-hour rule builds on the principle that carving out just a small portion of your time for learning can lead to exponential growth in the long run. However, it's not just about finding the time, it's about using that time wisely. One of the biggest reasons people give for not investing time in learning is the excuse, "I don't have time." We live in an era where being busy is worn as a badge of honor. Everyone seems to have jam-packed schedules, overflowing inboxes, and endless to-do lists. But is being busy the same as being productive? Let's look at the habits of some of the world's most successful people. Bill Gates, for instance, reads 50 books a year. Warren Buffett spends 5 to 6 hours a day reading. Elon Musk credits his vast knowledge of rocket science to reading and self-learning. These are all individuals with tremendous responsibilities and demanding schedules, yet they still find time for deliberate learning. How? They understand that time management is about prioritization. These leaders don't have more hours in the day than anyone else. They simply make learning a priority. They realize that learning is an investment in themselves, one that pays dividends over time. Many people fall into the trap of multitasking, believing that juggling several tasks at once is the key to being more productive. In reality, multitasking can be counterproductive, especially when it comes to deep, focused learning. Research has shown that multitasking reduces efficiency and performance because the brain is not designed to handle more than one task at a time. When you try to do 2 things at once, your attention is split, and neither task receives your full focus. This is why, for deliberate learning to be effective, you must set aside uninterrupted time. The 5-hour rule encourages you to dedicate a specific block of time for learning, whether it's reading, reflecting, or experimenting, without the distraction of other tasks. One of the most effective strategies for managing time is to work in focused, uninterrupted blocks, often referred to as time blocking. This is a time management method where you divide your day into distinct blocks of time, each dedicated to a specific task. Instead of jumping between tasks, you focus on one task for a set amount of time before moving on to the next. Time blocking can be especially useful for applying the 5-hour rule. By scheduling an hour of learning into your daily routine, you create a non-negotiable space for self-improvement. Early in the morning, during lunch, or in the evening, having a dedicated time block for learning ensures that it becomes a habit. Successful people like Elon Musk and Bill Gates are known to use time-blocking techniques to make the most out of their busy schedules. For instance, Musk is famous for scheduling his day in 5-minute increments, ensuring that every part of his day is optimized for productivity. Similarly, Gates uses time blocking to dedicate hours each day to reading and learning. The beauty of the 5-hour rule is that it doesn't require massive changes to your schedule. By setting aside just 5 hours a week, essentially 1 hour per weekday, you can reap long-term benefits over time. These small investments compound, leading to significant personal and professional growth. Imagine the cumulative impact of reading 1 book a week, reflecting on key takeaways, and experimenting with new ideas. By the end of the year, you could have read 50 books, refined your thinking, and developed new skills through experimentation. This is why time management is so crucial when applying the 5-hour rule. It's not about doing more in the short term, but about laying the foundation for long-term success. Time management is the cornerstone of the 5-hour rule. Successful people understand that it's not about having more time, it's about making time for what matters. The key is to prioritize learning, avoid the myth of multitasking, and use focused time blocks to make deliberate learning a consistent part of your routine. By doing so, you can turn small daily investments into big gains over time. Chapter 3. The first pillar. Reading. Reading is one of the most fundamental habits shared by successful people. It's not just about gathering information, but about absorbing new ideas, gaining different perspectives, and stimulating intellectual growth. The first pillar of the 5-hour rule revolves around the idea that reading, when done consistently, is a powerful tool for personal and professional development. There's a common thread among some of the world's most successful individuals. They are voracious readers. Bill Gates reads around 50 books a year. Warren Buffett is known to spend 5 to 6 hours per day reading. Mark Zuckerberg launched a public reading challenge in 2015, committing to read at least one book every 2 weeks. What's the secret behind their reading habits? Reading opens the door to a world of knowledge. It provides access to the wisdom of others, allowing you to learn from their experiences, successes, and failures. It's often said that leaders are readers because successful people understand that continuous learning is necessary to stay ahead in a rapidly changing world. Reading helps expand your mind, enhances creativity, and boosts problem-solving skills. The most successful people don't limit themselves to one type of reading. Instead, they draw from a variety of sources, everything from fiction and non-fiction to biographies, self-help books, and industry-specific materials. Each type of reading has its own benefits. 1. Non-fiction books on business, psychology, history, and science offer factual knowledge and insights into specific topics. 2. Fiction, while often underestimated, has been shown to improve empathy, emotional intelligence, and creativity. It helps you understand diverse perspectives and think in imaginative ways. 3. Biographies. Learning about the lives of others, especially successful people, offers a window into their thinking patterns, decision-making processes, and how they overcame obstacles. 4. Industry-specific material. Staying updated on the latest trends and innovations in your field is essential for maintaining a competitive edge. Reading reports, case studies, and technical articles can offer new insights into solving challenges in your own career. By diversifying what you read, you expose yourself to a wide array of ideas and viewpoints, which in turn fuels your intellectual growth and problem-solving abilities. The key to making reading part of your daily routine is to treat it like any other non-negotiable task. Much like you schedule meetings, work assignments, or exercise, reading needs to be scheduled into your day. Successful individuals often dedicate specific times for reading. Bill Gates, for example, spends time reading during his morning routine and before bed. Here are some practical strategies to help you develop a regular reading habit. 1. Start small. You don't need to commit to reading a book a week right away. Begin with 10 to 15 minutes of reading per day and gradually increase your time. 2. Set a reading goal. Whether it's reading a certain number of books per year or tackling one chapter a day, setting a specific goal will give you something to work toward. 3. Always have a book on hand. Carry a book or e-reader with you wherever you go. Whether you're waiting for an appointment or commuting, these small pockets of time can add up. 4. Use audiobooks. For those with busy schedules, audiobooks can be a great way to absorb information during downtime, such as while driving or working out. 5. Join a reading group or challenge. Being part of a group that discusses books can keep you motivated to stay on track with your reading. Public reading challenges, like the one initiated by Zuckerberg, can also serve as a source of motivation. Reading is more than just consuming information, it's about applying what you've learned. Warren Buffett often mentions that reading helps him stay informed about the economy, business trends, and opportunities, allowing him to make better investment decisions. The same principle applies to personal development. Reading helps you identify areas of improvement and strategies you can implement in your own life. The best readers are also active learners. They take notes, highlight key points, and reflect on what they've learned. This practice of active reading ensures that the knowledge gained is retained and applied in meaningful ways. It's not about how much you read, but how well you integrate the lessons from the material into your thinking and daily actions. The first pillar of the 5-hour rule, reading, is foundational to lifelong learning and success. Successful people dedicate time to reading because they know it's one of the most effective ways to acquire knowledge, spark new ideas, and develop the skills necessary to thrive in an ever-changing world. By incorporating a regular reading habit into your routine, you can unlock the same benefits and set yourself on the path to continuous improvement. Chapter 4. The second pillar. Reflection. Reflection is the second pillar of the 5-hour rule, and it plays a crucial role in turning knowledge into wisdom. While reading helps you gather new information, reflection allows you to process and internalize that information. By reflecting on what you've learned, you gain deeper insights, identify areas for improvement, and ensure that learning is not just theoretical but practical. Experiences, actions, and the information you've consumed. This could mean reviewing key points from a book, thinking about how a particular lesson applies to your life, or analyzing the successes and failures you've experienced recently. It's a vital step in the learning process because it helps transform raw information into actionable insights. Many successful individuals have integrated reflection into their daily or weekly routines. For example, Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater Associates, attributes much of his success to his habit of reflecting on his decisions, both good and bad. By doing so, he has been able to continuously refine his decision-making process over the years. Similarly, Bill Gates is known to take think weeks, where he isolates himself from his day-to-day responsibilities and reflects deeply on trends, opportunities, and challenges ahead. These reflective periods allow him to see the big picture and make strategic decisions that have long-term benefits. Reflection doesn't have to be complicated, but it does require intention. Here are some simple ways to build a reflection habit into your routine. 1. Journaling. Writing down your thoughts is one of the most effective ways to reflect. It helps you articulate your ideas, identify patterns, and track your progress over time. You can write about what you've learned, your recent experiences, or decisions you've made. Over time, you'll gain clarity on what's working and what needs to change. 2. Ask reflective questions. One of the best ways to prompt reflection is by asking yourself powerful questions, such as, "What did I learn from this experience?" or "What could I have done differently?" Even, "How can I apply this lesson to my current situation?" and "What are my biggest wins and challenges this week?" By answering these questions regularly, you develop a habit of self-awareness and continuous improvement. 3. Meditation and mindfulness. Another effective way to reflect is through meditation or mindfulness practices. Taking a few moments of quiet reflection allows you to clear your mind and focus on important ideas or experiences. This can be particularly useful for reflecting on complex problems or emotionally charged situations, as it creates mental space for insights to emerge. 4. Discuss with others. Sometimes discussing your thoughts with a trusted friend, mentor, or colleague can help you see things from a different perspective. Talking through your reflections allows you to clarify your thinking and gain new insights. Reflecting on what you've learned and experienced is essential for growth. For example, consider a project that didn't go as planned. Without reflection, you might move on without understanding why things went wrong. However, if you take time to reflect on the mistakes and lessons learned, you're more likely to avoid repeating the same errors in the future. Many successful companies encourage their teams to reflect regularly. For instance, Google uses post-mortem meetings to reflect on both successful and failed projects. These meetings help the team identify what worked, what didn't, and how they can improve their processes moving forward. Reflection is also key in personal development. Olympic athletes, for instance, review their performance after every race, identifying areas of strength and weakness. By doing so, they can make small adjustments to their training that ultimately lead to better results. Reflection can be uncomfortable because it often requires facing mistakes, failures, or unproductive habits. It's easier to keep moving forward without looking back. However, ignoring these lessons can lead to repeating the same mistakes. That's why reflection, though difficult, is one of the most valuable tools for personal growth. Another challenge is finding the time to reflect. In a fast-paced world, it's easy to fill every spare moment with tasks, distractions, or entertainment. However, successful people make time for reflection because they know that without it, they're likely to miss out on important insights. Reflection is an essential part of the 5-hour rule because it turns knowledge into actionable wisdom. By taking the time to think about what you've learned, how you've applied it, and what could be improved, you set yourself up for continuous growth. Whether through journaling, asking reflective questions, meditation, or discussions with others, building a regular reflection habit can help you achieve greater success in all areas of life. Chapter 5. The third pillar, experimentation. Experimentation is the third and final pillar of the 5-hour rule, and it is the most practical step in the learning process. While reading and reflecting provide knowledge and insights, experimentation is about applying that knowledge in real-life situations. Experimentation allows you to test new ideas, learn from your mistakes, and ultimately drive innovation and growth. This is what separates those who merely learn from those who create. The greatest innovators in history, people like Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, and Elon Musk, were not just thinkers, they were experimenters. They applied their ideas in the real world, tested them, and learned from the results. This process of trial and error is crucial because it allows you to take risks, fail, and refine your approach until you achieve success. Edison famously conducted thousands of experiments before inventing the light bulb. Each failure brought him one step closer to success. He believed that every failed experiment was not a waste, but an opportunity to learn something new. His story underscores the importance of persistence in experimentation. Similarly, Elon Musk, one of today's most prolific innovators, emphasizes experimentation in his approach to technology and business. Whether it's Tesla, SpaceX, or SolarCity, Musk is constantly pushing boundaries through experimentation. By taking calculated risks and continuously testing new ideas, Musk has revolutionized industries ranging from electric vehicles to space travel. Experimentation doesn't have to be risky or costly. You can start small and gradually scale up as you gain more confidence. Here are a few practical ways to bring experimentation into your life. 1. Test new ideas at work. Whether you're in a leadership role or an individual contributor, you can experiment with new strategies, techniques, or tools in your job. This could be as simple as trying a new approach to problem solving, using a new technology, or testing out different ways to communicate with your team. 2. Set up small experiments. Start by setting up small, low-risk experiments that allow you to test a new skill or idea without a significant downside. For example, if you're learning a new marketing strategy, run a small campaign with a limited budget to see how it performs before committing to a larger-scale effort. 3. Track your results. For experimentation to be effective, it's important to measure the results. Keep track of what works and what doesn't, and use that data to refine your approach. The outcomes of your experiments allow you to identify patterns and gain valuable insights. Section 1. Learn from failure. One of the biggest barriers to experimentation is the fear of failure. However, failure is an integral part of the learning process. Instead of viewing failure as a setback, embrace it as an opportunity to learn. Reflect on what went wrong, adjust your approach, and try again. Remember, many of the world's greatest achievements were born out of failure. The most groundbreaking innovations come from experimentation. By stepping out of your comfort zone and testing new ideas, you open the door to possibilities that wouldn't exist if you stuck to the status quo. Section 2. Stories of Success. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was known for his relentless focus on innovation through experimentation. His approach to product development involved constantly testing new designs, features, and user experiences until they reached the level of excellence he demanded. This iterative process led to iconic products like the iPhone, iPad, and MacBook, devices that transformed industries and changed the way we live and work. Another example is Google, a company that thrives on experimentation. Google's 20% time policy allows employees to spend 20% of their work hours experimenting on side projects. This culture of experimentation has led to some of Google's most successful innovations, including Gmail, Google News, and AdSense. Section 3. Feedback Loop. The beauty of experimentation is that it creates a feedback loop that drives continuous improvement. After each experiment, reflect on the results, as discussed in Chapter 4, and use that reflection to adjust your next experiment. This cycle of experimentation, reflection, and adjustment is the foundation of progress and growth. In the world of technology, this feedback loop is often referred to as the build, measure, learn cycle. It's a key concept in the lean startup methodology, which encourages entrepreneurs to quickly build a prototype, experiment, measure the results, and learn from the feedback before making adjustments. This approach minimizes risk while maximizing learning and innovation. Chapter 6. Creating your own 5-hour rule routine. Now that we've covered the 3 pillars of the 5-hour rule, reading, reflection, and experimentation, it's time to turn these concepts into actionable steps. Creating a consistent routine that incorporates deliberate learning is the key to unlocking the full potential of the 5-hour rule. Success isn't achieved overnight. It's the result of consistent effort applied over time. The 5-hour rule isn't just a one-time strategy, it's a lifelong habit. By integrating this rule into your weekly routine, you set yourself up for continuous growth, improvement, and success. A structured routine helps minimize decision fatigue, as you won't have to constantly decide when and how to incorporate learning into your day. Instead, learning becomes a natural part of your schedule, much like brushing your teeth or exercising. Step 1. Time blocking for learning. One of the most effective ways to implement the 5-hour rule is through time blocking. Time blocking involves setting aside specific chunks of time in your schedule for focused tasks, such as reading, reflecting, and experimenting. By reserving time for learning, you ensure it doesn't get crowded out by other tasks. Here's how you can apply time blocking to the 5-hour rule. 1. Daily commitment. Aim to set aside 1 hour each weekday for deliberate learning. If 1 hour a day feels like too much at first, start smaller and work your way up. 2. Ideal times. Schedule your learning time during moments when your energy levels are high and distractions are low. For example, early mornings or late evenings might be ideal for focused reading or reflection. 3. Use a calendar. Whether you prefer a digital calendar or a paper planner, block out learning time on your schedule the same way you would for meetings or appointments. Treat this time as sacred and non-negotiable. Step 2. Balancing the 3 pillars. The 5-hour rule is built on a balance of reading, reflection, and experimentation. It's important to ensure you're dedicating time to all 3 activities rather than focusing exclusively on one. Here's how to allocate your time effectively. 1. Reading. Spend 2 to 3 hours a week on reading books, articles, or papers that are relevant to your goals and interests. Choose a mix of materials, including non-fiction, biographies, and fiction, to ensure a well-rounded approach to learning. 2. Reflection. Dedicate at least 1 hour to reflection each week. You can do this by journaling, meditating, or reviewing your notes from the week's reading. This will help you internalize the lessons you've learned and identify growth opportunities. 3. Experimenting. Spend 1 to 2 hours a week experimenting with the new ideas or skills you've learned. Whether it's testing a new work strategy, learning a new skill, or applying a concept in a personal project, experimentation is where true growth happens. By dividing your 5 hours among these 3 pillars, you'll create a balanced learning routine that covers all aspects of self-improvement. Step 3. Tracking your progress. One of the keys to staying motivated is tracking your progress over time. Keeping a record of what you've read, the insights you've gained from reflection, and the experiments you've conducted will help you stay accountable and measure your growth. Here are a few ways to track your progress. 1. Reading log. Keep a list of the books, articles, and papers you've read, along with any key takeaways or lessons. 2. Journal. Use a journal to write down your reflections, track experiments, and note any changes or improvements you've observed. 3. Feedback loop. Regularly review your journal entries and learning log to identify patterns, successes, and areas where you need to adjust your approach. Step 4. Staying motivated and consistent. Consistency is the secret to making the 5-hour rule work. Here are a few strategies for maintaining your motivation and sticking to your learning routine over the long term. 1. Set learning goals. Having clear learning goals will give you direction and purpose, whether it's reading a certain number of books per year, learning a new skill, or applying a specific concept at work. Setting goals helps keep you focused. 2. Find a learning community. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who are committed to learning can keep you motivated. Join a reading group, participate in online forums, or form a mastermind group where you can share insights and discuss ideas. 3. Celebrate small wins. Progress may feel slow at times, but celebrating small wins can help keep you motivated. Every book you finish, every new skill you learn, and every successful experiment is a step toward your larger goals. 4. Adjust when necessary. Life is unpredictable, and there will be times when sticking to the 5-hour rule feels challenging. Don't be afraid to adjust your routine when necessary. What's important is that you remain committed to deliberate learning, even if you need to temporarily reduce your time commitment. Creating your own 5-hour rule routine is the key to unlocking the benefits of deliberate learning. By scheduling time for reading, reflection, and experimentation, and tracking your progress, you can make learning a consistent part of your life. Stay motivated by setting clear goals, joining a learning community, and celebrating your achievements. Over time, this routine will become second nature, leading to continuous personal and professional growth. Chapter 7. The long-term benefits of the 5-hour rule. Now that you've learned how to create a routine based on the 5-hour rule, it's time to explore why this investment in yourself pays off in the long run. Continuous learning doesn't yield immediate results, but over time, the compounding effect of deliberate practice, reflection, and experimentation becomes clear. In this chapter, we'll look at the long-term benefits of adopting the 5-hour rule and how it can transform your personal and professional life. Just like financial investments, the time you spend learning compounds over time. Every hour you invest in reading, reflecting, and experimenting adds up, leading to exponential growth. The concept of compounding, commonly associated with finance, applies equally to knowledge and skills. As you accumulate more knowledge, you build on previous learning, allowing you to understand complex concepts and solve difficult problems with greater ease. Successful people understand this principle. For example, Warren Buffett often compares knowledge to compound interest. Each piece of information you learn builds on the previous one, creating a snowball effect that accelerates your growth. This is why Buffett dedicates a significant portion of his day to reading and learning. He knows that the long-term returns on this investment far outweigh the short-term sacrifices. One of the most profound long-term benefits of the 5-hour rule is the deep sense of personal growth and self-awareness it fosters. By dedicating time to reflect on your experiences, you develop a heightened awareness of your strengths, weaknesses, values, and goals. Reflection allows you to understand your behavior patterns and make intentional changes that lead to personal fulfillment. When you regularly engage in deliberate learning and experimentation, you also become more adaptable. You're better equipped to handle challenges, embrace new opportunities, and navigate changes in your personal and professional life. This adaptability is a key trait of successful individuals as it allows them to thrive in uncertain and fast-paced environments. The 5-hour rule has direct applications in the workplace. In today's rapidly changing job market, continuous learning is essential for staying competitive. As industries evolve and new technologies emerge, the ability to learn quickly and adapt is one of the most valuable skills you can possess. Many top CEOs and entrepreneurs, including Elon Musk, attribute their success to a commitment to lifelong learning. Musk famously taught himself rocket science by reading books and experimenting, skills that ultimately led to the founding of SpaceX. This level of self-directed learning can be applied to any industry. By continuously expanding your knowledge and experimenting with new ideas, you position yourself as an invaluable asset to any organization. Moreover, as you build expertise in your field through reading and experimentation, you become more innovative. Innovation doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of consistently testing new ideas and learning from failure. Companies like Google and Apple encourage their employees to engage in 20% time or side projects that allow for experimentation and innovation. This practice has led to some of their most successful products, such as Gmail and the iPhone. Another long-term benefit of the 5-hour rule is improved decision-making. The more you read and reflect, the more data points and perspectives you gather, allowing you to make better informed decisions. When you engage in deliberate learning, you're constantly exposing yourself to new ideas and information, which helps you avoid the pitfalls of narrow thinking. Leaders like Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, are known for making decisions based on a combination of intuition, reflection, and data. By dedicating time to learning and reflecting, you develop the ability to synthesize information and make sound decisions in both your personal and professional life. Creativity and innovation are not limited to the arts. They are essential for solving complex problems in any field. The more you engage in deliberate learning, the more you train your brain to think critically and creatively. Reading diverse materials, reflecting on your experiences, and experimenting with new ideas allow you to approach problems from different angles. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was known for drawing inspiration from a wide variety of disciplines, from calligraphy to music. His ability to synthesize ideas from different fields was key to Apple's innovative product designs. Similarly, by adopting the 5-hour rule, you can develop the creativity and problem-solving skills needed to succeed in today's competitive landscape. The most important long-term benefit of the 5-hour rule is the mindset it cultivates, a mindset of lifelong learning. Once you make deliberate learning a habit, it becomes part of your identity. You no longer see learning as a means to an end, but as an ongoing journey that enriches your life. A lifelong learning mindset fosters curiosity, resilience, and a willingness to embrace change. It keeps you engaged, motivated, and open to new possibilities, even as you grow older. Whether you're advancing in your career, starting a new business, or pursuing a personal passion, the commitment to lifelong learning will serve you well in all aspects of your life. The long-term benefits of the 5-hour rule extend far beyond just acquiring knowledge. By consistently dedicating time to reading, reflection, and experimentation, you unlock personal growth, professional success, improved decision-making, enhanced creativity, and a lifelong love of learning. These benefits compound over time, creating a ripple effect that leads to greater fulfillment and achievement. The journey of continuous learning doesn't have a final destination. It's a process of constant growth and self-discovery. By adopting the 5-hour rule as part of your routine, you are making an investment in yourself that will pay off for years to come. The 5-hour rule is more than just a strategy for personal and professional growth. It is a commitment to lifelong learning. By consistently dedicating 5 hours each week to reading, reflecting, and experimenting, you invest in your personal development, sharpen your skills, and foster a mindset of continuous improvement. This practice is not just for entrepreneurs and business leaders. It is for anyone who seeks to unlock their potential and stay ahead in a rapidly changing world. The journey starts with reading, the foundation of all knowledge. By reading, you expose yourself to new ideas, diverse perspectives, and timeless wisdom from others who have walked similar paths. Whether you're reading fiction to boost creativity, non-fiction for factual insights, or biographies for inspiration, each piece of content contributes to your intellectual growth. Reflection is what turns knowledge into wisdom. Through reflection, you make sense of the information you consume and draw connections between your experiences and what you've learned. It's in these moments of deep thought that insights emerge, guiding your decisions and actions in meaningful ways. Experimentation is the key to applying what you've learned. Without practical application, learning remains theoretical. Experimentation allows you to test ideas, take risks, and embrace failure as a stepping stone to success. The most innovative people and companies thrive on experimentation, continuously refining their approaches through trial and error. The long-term impact of adopting the 5-hour rule cannot be overstated. Over time, the small investments in learning compound, leading to exponential personal and professional growth. You'll become more adaptable, creative, and resilient in the face of challenges. Your decision-making will improve as you gather new perspectives and insights, and you'll develop a mindset of lifelong learning that keeps you engaged and motivated. Ultimately, the 5-hour rule offers a blueprint for success that anyone can follow, regardless of their profession or stage in life. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a student, a professional, or simply someone looking to better themselves, the 5-hour rule will guide you toward continuous growth and fulfillment. The power of the 5-hour rule lies in its simplicity. Just 5 hours a week, 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday, can make a profound difference in your life. By committing to deliberate learning through reading, reflection, and experimentation, you can unlock your full potential and achieve greater success in all areas of life. Remember, lifelong learning is not a destination, but a journey. The more you learn, the more you grow, and the more opportunities you'll discover. The 5-hour rule is your roadmap to this journey, a journey that will lead you to new heights, both personally and professionally. Final summary: a roadmap to lifelong learning. The 3 pillars. The 5-hour rule is based on 3 core practices: reading, reflection, and experimentation. Each of these pillars plays a crucial role in turning learning into action and driving continuous growth. The power of routine. By incorporating the 5-hour rule into your weekly schedule, you create a structured routine that ensures you consistently dedicate time to learning, regardless of how busy life becomes. Long-term benefits. The compounding effect of consistent learning leads to enhanced creativity, better decision-making, improved adaptability, and long-term personal and professional growth. A mindset for success. Lifelong learning is a mindset that fosters curiosity, resilience, and a commitment to improvement. It is a trait shared by some of the most successful people in history, and it is accessible to anyone willing to adopt it.